here. I love y'all. You are in for a treat today, okay? I am so excited. We are going to be talking all things recurring giving. Who don't like a good recurring cha-ching, okay? I love that. Also, you know me, okay? Recurring giving is all about community, but the best part about recurring giving is that the people keep showing up, okay? And remember what I say, when you show up for the world's gonna show up for you. When you show up for your community is going to show up for you, okay? When you show up for your mission will show up for you. Come on, somebody, okay? So I am so excited to get into it. You know me by now. My name is Floyd Jones. I am the host that is going to give you the most. I am based in New York. I love working with small organizations. And you know my favorite thing, my fun fact for today is that I love summer in NYC. I don't know if you can hear outside. It's kind of distracting from my NYC pitch here, but I love summer in New York City. It's so much fun. Last weekend, I saw Hell's Kitchen on Broadway. It was so amazing. If you ever come down, please see it. I walked through Bryant Park. I went to Queens. Child, I need to just do a day in the life. I'm going to give that to y'all, okay? But my hope for you is that you find your fun in the sun this summer, okay? Come on, somebody. Y'all connect with me. You know the drill. Join the mailing list. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and let's keep the conversation going. All right, housekeeping. You know the rules, okay? Recording and slides will be sent to you. You already know. Someone's going to come in and ask, are the recording and slides going to be sent? And what are y'all going to say? Yes, with a big YES and a heart, because we're a community and a fam, okay? Please use the Q&A to ask questions. I know we're going to have a lot of Q&A at the end. One of my favorite things about Dana is that she gets into the nitty gritty, okay? So she's going to open it up and break it all the way down. So make sure y'all have your questions ready to go. Use the comment, use emojis. You know, if I talk to you, I want you to talk back, and keep the chat kind and respectful. We're not promoting things. We're here to support and learn and grow, okay? We're doing our intros now. We have some fun announcements that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Well, actually, I'm not going to be sharing. Claudia's going to be sharing soon. We're going to talk about building recurring donations, some Q&A, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Okay. If you don't know Givebutter, because I know there's a lot of different people, but if you don't know Givebutter, we are your all-in-one fundraising solution. Y'all, somebody in the team, please drop the Givebutter link so people can sign up if they don't already have a Givebutter account, but we are 100% free. I don't know about you, but I know about me, and we are free, and I love that about us. Come on, somebody. Let me stop. See, don't get me started, because once I get started, child, I can't stop. But y'all, we have everything you need for donation forms, fundraising pages, events, auctions, CRM, marketing, integrate. We got a mobile app, okay? We have a mobile app, all right? How do you like that? But I love everything about Givebutter, and we're going to talk about a little bit more now. So, y'all, I'm going to stop. I'm going to bring up one of my faves. Y'all, please help me welcome to the stage, Claudia. Hey, Claudia.
Hey, Floyd, thank you for this wonderful and abundant Wednesday energy. I am living for it. I am so excited to share with you all some great product features we have coming up. Floyd, this year, we're going to focus on skipping the paper cuts and, of course, the time that you spend stuffing and labeling envelopes, because Givebutter is soon launching Givebutter mailings. Now, this is going to empower you to draft engaging, of course, custom letters and have them stamped, labeled, sealed, and sent right from your Givebutter dashboard. I know Floyd in his mind is saying signed, sealed, delivered.
Claudia, why you had me? Because that's here I am, baby. Come on now. I love that.
And of course, everyone here, just like emails and text messages, you'll be able to track the delivery status and the donations earned from your supporters right in your Givebutter dashboard. Floyd, can it get any better than this?
I don't think so, but knowing us, it probably can.
It can. If you can take us to the next slide, my friend. So we have another great feature. So yes, it can get better than this. Soon you'll have the option to collect pledge donations. So this is just intended to make the experience smooth as butter, not only for you, but also your donors. So you can add a pledge, review existing pledges, and the icing on top is you will have the option to send an invoice as well. Floyd, if you could take us to the next slide.
Can we just for 1 second, because I don't know about y'all, but gone are are the days of raising a paddle and never hearing from them again, okay? People love to say, I'll give you $1,000 and then hide their face shot. Say, thank you, here's the invoice. I love it. It's gonna be a pledge and a promise. Come on, somebody. What else we got, Claudia?
Love to hear it. Yes. Speaking to what you just said, these invoices are going to allow you to not only collect pledge payments, but also sponsorships. Of course, now we have those matching funds that are coming in, and it's all with a click of a button. So, you know, the Givebutter team has been at hard of work here to provide you with features that help you continue raising that dough. So keep a lookout. We'll let you know once they're released over here.
I love it. Okay, well, first of all, before we get to anything else, can y'all give Claudia a round of applause? Thank you so much, Claudia, for all that info. Bye. Y'all, can we just for a second get into all of this? Like, this is some amazing things that we are talking about here. You can now request a pledge. You people can pay invoices directly on, and we're gonna give y'all mailing. Hey, don't say Givebutter didn't give you nothing, okay? Don't say it, because we are here. We are on your team, all right? All right, y'all. Well, I am super, super, super excited. We are going to get into a little poll because you know I love to hear from the audience. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll, and I want to hear from each of you. How many monthly donors do you have? How many monthly donors do you all have, y'all? I want to see 0, 1 to 50, 51 to 150. Oh, 151 to 1,000, and then E, which is 1,000 plus. I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay, actually, I found we have a real poll, so it just popped up on the screen, y'all. So take that poll. Let me see. We're gonna have a couple more seconds in here. Let me do my little Jeopardy. All right, let's see it, y'all. Oh, we have a lot in the 1 to 50 category. Okay, I see what y'all are working with. And somebody said 1,000 plus. Whoever you are, reveal yourself, because we're gonna have to call you up and hear a little bit of your strategy potentially. So reveal yourself in the chat. But y'all, I am so excited. We have one of my favorite human beings joining us today, Dana Snyder, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, the host of the Missions to Movements. First of all, I just die for that name every time. Okay, Missions to Movements. Come on, somebody. And she's a movement by herself. Okay, let me just stop. And she's the creator of the monthly giving Mastermind, and it has a monthly giving summit coming up. Make sure y'all are there and get your tickets. Fun fact, she was a competitive figure skater. Come on, Michelle Kwan. I want to see that. Y'all give a round of applause and show some love in the chat for my friend, Dana Snyder. Hey, Dana.
Oh my God, I'm dead. Okay, first of all, definitely Tara Lipinski. Huge fan.
Ooh.
Yeah, when she won, I even remember coming up on Olympics, although it's summer, not winter, the 1998 Nagano Olympics with Tara Lipinski, fire. And B, I am dead through these whole comments. We were like 5 minutes into the webinar. It's the best webinar we've ever had. I think I can just like exit stage left. Like
never.
We don't even need to have B. We just need to have your energy to kick off the day, and then we can all go about our work. What do we think?
Listen, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Grace says about to get even better. Well, y'all, I'm going to go so Dana can do the thing. But if you are ready, I want you to see ready in the chat. Type ready in the chat. And Dana, go ahead and take it away.
Yay. Thank you all so much for being here. I am so pumped to share with you everything around monthly giving. And I want to start with a question. This chat's already been fire. Have you ever heard of, Floyd mentioned monthly giving mastermind. Have you ever heard of masterminds? Yes or no? Why N? Have you ever heard of a mastermind? Ooh, we have quite a collective bunch. Okay, because here's what we're going to do over the next roughly 40 minutes that we have together is we're going to dive into this own mastermind that we are in right now. So Napoleon Hill wrote this book eons ago. It was called Think and Grow Rich. And he defined a group, basically this mastermind group, as a coordination knowledge of 2 or more people coming together for a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. Now, I have my own definition that's on the screen right now. And I joined a mastermind in 2021 when I felt so depleted, right? 2021 was rough coming off of 2020. And I felt in my own personal business as a solopreneur that I was trying to figure everything out by myself. I didn't have a community to go to, and I just needed help. Like I was second guessing every single decision I had in my organization. Like, have you ever felt like this where you're like, I just need someone to throw an idea by? Or I want to see what another organization is doing. Yes, having coaches. I didn't have any of that. I was just doing it by myself. So I ended up joining a mastermind. And this is the group of the amazing female entrepreneurs group that I was a part of. Julie Solomon ran it. It promised literally everything that I was looking for. We had virtual coaching sessions where we could discuss our challenges and our brainstorms. And I immediately felt I could breathe. Like, you ever feel like, oh my God, I found my people. We, this collective group of 556 of you right now, we are going to be in our own mini mastermind right now. And I love that we started with a poll because there were all different growths of monthly giving programs. And so what I want to try and do, the biggest part about masterminds that I love is live seat hot coaching, the Q&A part. So I want us together, I will share ideas with you, but also peers from the group to be able to, at the end, we're going to share together. So I want to be able to leave time for Q&A. So I'm going to get through the meat of the presentation with you, and then we're going to be able to dive into our mini mastermind together. Cool? Thumbs up, smiley faces, exclamation marks, all the things. If we're ready to go, let's roll. All right. So context for this presentation, or where all the information comes from. Oh, Paula, the flower. Thank you. I have helped launch 15 monthly donor programs through the Monthly Giving Mastermind at this point. I have also interviewed 15 different organizations that you see listed that have 26 to 66,000 monthly donors in preparation for a book that I am launching in September about this very framework that I'm going to share with you. So there's lots of juicy case studies and stories about these actual frameworks being put into real life experience. And what I want every single one of you to know is that every size program matters. You all have different missions and causes and goals that you need. And so when you're thinking about your monthly giving programs, they're all going to look drastically different. And that's amazing. And they should, in the goals that you might have. So I don't want to get into this sometimes comparison mentality that we have. Oh, I should be like them, or I should be like them. No, you should be just where you're at to find the growth that you need. So what I hope is from the next frameworks and what we're going to walk through is that you find the bits and the pieces that are like, oh yeah, that totally applies to us. That one, not as much. I'm going to put that down on the to-do list for further on, right? So take what's going to make sense for you to right now and to apply it. So during my interview process with the book, I asked every single organization this question. If we could go back in time, we would have blank. Can you guess what nearly every single organization said? What do you think their fill in the blank answer was to this? Oh, Christian, Emily, right on there. Started sooner. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is don't let this just be the best webinar that you've ever attended, which I hope it definitely is, and it already has started to be, but I want you to apply some of the things that we talk about today. So to get started sooner, let's get started. There is a crazy, not just trend, but there is a change. There's a shift that has been happening that is continuing to skyrocket forward around subscriptions. I'm sure we have all heard the term, the subscription economy. This is something that is continuing to skyrocket. It is not plateauing. This is not a trend that I see. This is not a Taylor Swift era that is happening, is going to end. This is consistently growing and happening, and we see it as consumers. And in this report, I wanted to double click on these bolded areas of why this is so important. Consumers, we, donors, they are choosing brands to align with their values and interests in social responsibility, and sustainability is growing. They want subscription models because they enable authentic, ongoing engagement that we, modern consumers, desire. So this is something, recurring giving is not just kind of in its own bucket. There's a reason that it is seeing such a shift in growth in our sector, because it's just how we're purchasing products as well. So today, I'm going to talk through a 5-step framework to building a successful monthly giving product. And yes, I said product. I will explain in a second. How to self-audit an existing, which many of you have existing programs, and then a couple of sprinkling unconventional growth and joy gratitude strategies. So my mission, Floyd did a beautiful introduction, but what I want you to know is when I started my company, this was what I set out to want to do. And the main one that I want to focus on right now is creating sustainable giving models by building monthly giving programs so that every single person can become a philanthropist. I will never forget giving my first monthly gift. I believe it was in the end of 2020, 2021 to December. And I remember at the time I was making a bunch of individual one-time donations, and I felt like, am I really making a difference with these organizations? Or I'm just kind of like picking and choosing random. And I truly felt a part of something with December when I started to give monthly, and I still give to them to this day. So step one in the framework, speaking of December, is creating the product, the why, the structure, the naming process. When I say a product has a brand associated, a product has a name, a product has a landing page, a product has description, a product has marketing, a product has a team. When you think about your monthly giving program, think about it as an additional fundraising product. All of the decisions that are made with this green juice, I'm just picking what's on my desk. This is Evolution Fresh. So many decisions went into this product, right? Pick something that's around you right now. The color design, the label, the text, the font, the everything, the price point, the barcode, everything about this had so many decisions. And I want you to think about your monthly giving program in this facet. Do you know the why behind your program other than just wanting to have recurring donors, of course? But what is the impact that it's intended to have? With December, they didn't have a monthly donor program for years. They ran a peer-to-peer seasonal campaign. Roughly, December was their big month. In December, if you're not familiar, they're an organization that brings like fashion and advocacy together. And so in December, they gathered people who wore a dress or a tie every single day to raise awareness for anti-human trafficking efforts. And they ran peer-to-peer campaigns. But they realized we are missing all the engagement and sharing of impact outside of like these 3 months around the holidays. So we want to extend that all year long. 2, the structure. So you understand, why do you need to have your program? What structure actually aligns and is what you need for your organization? Daily giving, the $1 a day example you see here on the right-hand side, is an incredible, I want to say kind of anomaly in the space, where they are an organization that is a recurring first, pretty much recurring only donation process. They only want recurring donations. That's really all they have on their page, as you can see here. Their premise is not a day will go by that someone can't do good. So they offer the $1 a day option. And what they see is usually their supporters will pick the certain dollar amount that matches people in their household. This idea, this was the origin. They never even started with one-time gifts. They immediately started with this. Their CEO, their founder, started talking at all of these different events about what they do, about this structure, and it skyrocketed. Will anyone guess how many monthly donors do you think they have? They started in 2019. They've been doing mostly like some ads, speaking events. Okay, Emily says 5,000, 10,000, higher. Higher than 10K. Whoa, not 50K, close. Oh my gosh, Tammy, 1 million, that would be incredible. Okay, 15,000. But it's incredible, the mission that they've been able to create. And they send an email, get this one too. They send an email every single day to their supporters telling them where the money is going. Isn't that incredible? Another example is Gloria Umana. She runs an organization, the Hope Booth. I think Floyd, you actually introduced me to her. She's incredible. And the Hope Booth didn't start with monthly giving either. I interviewed Gloria for my book, and she was like, it was such a missed opportunity because we started as a Kickstarter. And then she's like, we had this surge of donations. We did like a telethon, and we were only asking for one-time gifts. What would we have done if we had a recurring first ask? So now she just launched on Friday. Go check out their social channels. They are amazing. Or Floyd, I don't know if you can drop their Instagram. Their monthly giving program is called The Movement. And I have joined their program as a monthly donor. She just launched this really impactful video campaign, and they got 8 new donors in one day for their program. So it is for them, they built the Hope booth for the community. So it makes sense for their program to be driven and funded by the community. Love. Finally, for step number 1, the naming process. Naming has like 2 schools of thought. Some people are like, nope, I just want to ask people to join our monthly giving program. I truly believe in standing by the creation of the product for it to have a name. So the Mothers Will Save Us All photo is from Chamber of Mothers, another organization that I give monthly to. Their monthly giving program is called the Matriarchy. And they wanted to attract the exact people that they wanted to be in their program and repel the ones that don't want to be. People, we crave belonging, right? Something bigger than ourselves. The naming process creates that. If I say to you, let me just use last on here, Nicole, would you like to give monthly to Missions to Movements, just because it's on the screen? Or what if I said, will you become a member of Missions to be able to accomplish blank, blank, blank? Like, will you be a part of something? It changes how you word things. So naming to me is really important. Further on this proof point, if you've been on the edge of thinking about a name, have you ever seen ducks on Jeeps as you're driving around the city? Have you ever seen this before? Yes, Kayla says yes. Demarius, it is Chamber of Mothers. Definitely go look at their website. Okay, yes, and I see LOLs. I have seen this, but I never really knew the backstory. Yes, okay, Kayla, I didn't know it was them. Okay, so the other day, I was driving my car to pick up my daughter from daycare, and I noticed this mother and her son sitting next to me, and they were like rearranging ducks that had taken over their entire dashboard. And I did some research and I found out that there is a very proud community of Jeep owners who participate in this tradition that's called Duck, Duck, Jeep. And it is a tradition that involves placing a rubber duck on another person's Jeep as a sign of respect to the vehicle. And essentially, when you buy said Jeep, you are joining this micro community. Nancy, I have ducks in my Jeep. Okay, I am not a part of this cool duck like Jeep gang, unfortunately, with my RAV4. But this is the point, right, Nancy? If a car was just a car, if a product did not have a name, there would be no community built. There would be no branding. Yeah, this person has a whole lot of ducks on there. So that is step number 1. Step number 2, and at the end, I want to, hopefully we have some time, I want to show you the examples of these web pages that we built. But step 2 is to make it easy, easy breezy when it comes to the donation experience. So with a product, it should have its own separate landing page. So my question is, does your monthly giving product program have its own page? And this helps significantly with donor confusion. If you've ever had anybody say, oops, I didn't mean to make that gift, or they may be perturbed, I didn't mean to do that, yada, yada, yada. If you have its own landing page and you're doing nothing but telling the story about monthly giving, if you only have the option for monthly giving on that page, it's helping to avoid any donor confusion. Having it be mobile friendly is crucial. That's a no-brainer in today's day of age. You want to have that big, audacious statement bold right on the top. With Clio Institute, you see, rise up and make a daily impact on Florida's fight for climate change. The reason that we worked with the copywriter, Clio Institute is an alumni of the Mastermind program. And so we work with an expert copywriter on this. Rise is the name of their monthly giving program. Rise, they are all about climate change in Florida. So Rise, it kind of like goes with what they're trying to do, the impact they're trying to create. We ended up doing a daily impact, so kind of similar to daily giving with $1 a day, because climate change can kind of feel like this inconspicuous, like big idea of like, there's not exactly X amount of dollars that can create X amount of impact. So we went with every single day, like you are making effort on this progress. And then of course, having a donation button or form. Within the donation experience, and this is one of the reasons that I love Givebutter, is you can see another example. This is from Politicist and their monthly giving program, The Village. We were able to have monthly only pre-selected here, multiple payment options, and you notice there is no long forms. These are very mobile friendly that they continue moving through the process. Now, going back to daily giving for a second, What's really important going along with the framework of make it easy is when a recurring donor makes a recurring gift, I should say regular gift, that's a lot of recurring in one phrase. The relationship starts there, but you have to continue to use technology moving forward. So for them, they said we wanted to make sure we had a clear login process so that they intuitively knew how to pause, cancel, upgrade their account. The example that I love to share is anybody ever purchase HelloFresh? I have like no time to cook, nor am I a good cook. I am not a good cook. Okay, Rob, yes, thank you. So have you ever noticed how difficult it is to cancel? Everything you mostly do through your mobile app for HelloFresh, but you can't cancel. You can't cancel. You can't pause. You have to go on the website. And it's like so frustrating. I'm like, we're in the car and I'm trying to cancel. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, Rob, I have a few things like that. So we do not want, yes, and I wait until the coupons come back. Me too, Jennifer. So we have to make sure that it's easy and we don't want it to feel hard. All right. Step 3, one of my favorites, is call in the believers. You want to have such a clear value proposition, and I'm going to explain what NLP means in a second, that you showcase the need and the impact and that it's a collective effort, that when someone lands on your website, that copy is like targeted to them. It's like a gut check. It's like, oh my gosh, that's me. They're talking to me. So here, IJM has a beautiful example. As a Freedom Partner, that's the name of their monthly giving program, you're helping IJM work with authorities to bring children. This child is on the front, beautiful image, to safely and support survivors as they heal. Big, audacious. You're also helping enable systematic change. They show some stats here, and they're saying this is the lasting change that's possible together. So you want to make sure, are you calling in the believers with the language that you use? Another example of this is the language from the Village website. So it might be a little bit small, but one thing we've been working with them on during the launch plan was targeting other parents. The mission, in a very broad way, is that they work to provide free childcare for parents to be able to get to the polls. And so in the subheader here, it says, you already know that it's the underrepresented and underprivileged in our nation whose voices most urgently need to be heard. You already know, right? It's like, yeah, I do. Like you're speaking to me. And so it's not enough to have a seat at the table. We want to make sure everyone gets there and has a role in the conversation. Financial burden of childcare. Like they are talking immediately to people who have kids and can understand what they're going through. NLP language, I want to double click on for a second, is this. It's a mouthful, so I'm going to try and say it slowly. Neuro-linguistic programming, or I just like to say NLP. This is a type of, it can be integrated as sales language with specific phrases and strategies that really play into our behaviors and our actions as human beings and how we feel about something. So when it comes from the standpoint of your page, I've outlined positive language, urgency language, and trust language. So it might be words like, for positivity, believe, excellent, thrive, progress, remarkable, change. Urgency could be exclusive, deadline, final, now, or limited. Or establishing trust, guaranteed, proven, you're an expert, certified. So there's a different language that's like NLP language that you can pepper in throughout your website. Step number 4 is make the ask. And this is a big one. And there's so many different ways where you can be clever and creative in making the ask to multiple segments, groups within your organization. One example I want to highlight is the Tim Tebow Foundation. They do incredible work, and they felt like a bit stagnant in their monthly giving growth. And they started running Facebook and Instagram ads last summer. They had 6,500 monthly donors, and they were at that for a while. And they started running ads. They started with a couple $100s, testing it out. A year later, they have over 20,000 monthly donors. They've seen a 4.5 times return on their investment. They gained 3,000 new monthly donors just from ads in March of this year. Incredible. And what's also wild about this is the ad that they utilized was a video from 2020. Repurposing that content and finding something that works is amazing. Another example here in emails. So where it says, Dana, you've seen the headlines with rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and threats to biodiversity. The time to rise is now. This is an example of an email that Clio Institute sent out. And what I love about them is I just interviewed Helen on my podcast. I'll try and find the link for you because she dives into so many amazing things that they're doing to raise awareness. But what I thought was so cool is they just put together, I need to ask her how it went, or maybe coming up this week, a Jeffersonian dinner. Have you ever heard of a Jeffersonian dinner? I only know about it because I watched it on Billions, if anybody watched that show. But a Jeffersonian dinner is like a bunch of change makers with all different opinions and perspectives. Yes, Erica, we're trying it this fall. They put it together and it's around, they give like a prompt of conversation. I think the max is 2 hours. It's over dinner and you just like go in depth. And then there's no direct ask technically right in that moment. But then the follow-up, of course, is that you've built such a dynamic that the ask will be there. And these are usually prominent figures in the space that will help you raise awareness. So going from very niche to obviously wide targeting can apply across the board. Another example is being on podcasts. So Floyd mentioned Missions to Movement, which was mine. Please pitch me. I do not think there's nearly enough nonprofits pitching themselves for podcasts. And Erica Carley, she used to work at Chive Charities. Now she's with National Angels. Chive Charities, I think it's 70% of their revenue is from their monthly donors, which is incredible. Every single year, they run an upsell campaign. They have a 98% retention rate. How amazing is that? 98%. Like, this is the power of recurring giving. So corporate partnerships is another one. I mean, what partners do you normally have that you work with one time a year? Write them down, make a list. How can you talk to them about doing a lunch and learn at their organization? How can you partner with them on being in their internal employee communications? How can you ask them to get a space in their external email newsletter to their customers, right? There are so many things to explore. My pitch to open that is just to ask them to jump on a call. Be like, we have some really exciting stuff we're working on. We think we're values aligned and it would make a lot of sense for us to collaborate. Let's chat about it. What are your business goals, right? What are you working on? Hi, Floyd. Am I out of time? Am I doing okay? Oh, you're on mute.
You're not out of time. I can't see myself, so it's gonna be fine.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna be like the voice that people can hear. But I really want everyone to understand this because this is so incredibly, really powerful. When you just said that you're going to reach out to people that you work out to, that you've been reaching out to and working with over the year, remember, this is not out of the blue. You've been working with them before, so they're going to want to work with you again. You know what I mean? You're just asking them to engage with you in a different way. So don't be afraid to approach them. Every single monthly giving program that I run or corporate partnership I've had was because I know them. I built a relationship with them and I said, okay, hey, we're doing this new thing. Do you want to be a part of it? You're not pitching them or trying to sell them. You're inviting them into something new, and that is okay.
Yes. Amen. Preach. Another example, this is fire from Kibo Drew. She is the founder, CEO of Queer Women of Color Media Arts Project. And this quote, to give context, she has about this committee of 6 like super fan monthly donors. They host a angel brunch every single year for 50 to 100 people. They plan it, they pick the venue, they do the program, the whole enchilada, and they invite people. And the ask is to become a monthly donor. The only thing that they do as the organization is help provide like assets, like graphics, and sending, of course, thank yous. But how can you inspire your super fans of your organization? If I was asked by the Hope booth, or if I was asked, sometimes life is so busy, we just need to ask the question. Like, hey, we've been thinking about this. Would you be on a committee to help do an event or something, host a dinner at your house? I'd be like, yeah, I would love to do that. So just an idea to like work with the people that are already in your organization. Okay, step 5, constant joy and gratitude, sharing constant joy and gratitude. Retention is everything. So you need to have a strategic plan that every single time that monthly giving comes through on that person's statement, joy is happening. how did they feel when they first hit that button to give? Fire. They felt amazing. They felt inspired. They felt motivated, but that can dwindle, right? So how do you continually do that with these different surprise and delight moments? The graphic on the right is BB4CK. This is Hunger Heroes. They're an organization in Calgary, Calgary for Kids, brown bagging for Calgary kids. Sorry, mouthful. But they have this wonderful 12-month plan of from the first week all the way through month 12, and then throughout the year of all of the different retention triggers that they're going to touch to be able to tell people, we see you, right? We value you. And I had a brainstorm conversation with Chamber of Mothers when we were talking about this. They were sharing the plan that they have now. And I was like, oh my gosh, it would be so cool if you did something around month 9 or 10. Chamber of Mothers, if you can kind of guess from the name, is about creating better childcare and support for moms in the United States. And I was like, month 9 or 10, when you're like giving birth, what if there was something you did from a retention perspective? So you can make this a really great responsive experience and automate where you can. There are beautiful tools like Letter Labs, which do like handwritten postcards. Of course, Givebutter has their new direct mail. So all of this can be seamlessly done in one product. I don't have it on me right now, but December every year sends little like gift items, and I've worn it everywhere. I wear it wherever I go out, basically. It's my purse. This like crossbody, I still think they're called fanny packs, but now we wear them as crossbodies because we're way cooler than the 80s. And it says Made Free. And so this is like 2 examples. Made Free is a company that they partnered with that's for profit, but they hire survivors of trafficking. And so they did a partnership, and then December sends this little crossbody to supporters of the collective, their monthly giving program. So if you are someone who does maybe like has somewhat of a retention plan, but it's not fully built out, you can scan this QR code for a 12-month plan where I have suggestions for you. So it's going to ask you for a little bit of feedback on this presentation, and then you'll immediately be able to access this plan that I'm talking about. It's in Google Docs, so you can brainstorm right inside of it with your own notes and everything. So go ahead and scan this and save it for later, because I want to make sure that we get to questions and go through this audit. But this is, I cannot like say more about the importance of a solid retention plan is everything. I actually got the question a couple of months ago, and I get it. I so get it, where they were like, should we just not say anything so that they don't stop giving? And I was like, no, I've been that person. I have been the donor where I didn't hear anything from an organization for a year. And then there was an upsell ask. And I was like, did I miss something? I like went through my spam and my trash and I didn't see anything. I was like, I have no idea what's been going on with this organization. So don't do that. Please communicate to them and let them feel seen. Okay. Quick self-audit. We're going to jump into some questions. So, does the current structure of your program, your product, align with the intent of your mission? Does it need to be tweaked a little bit? Do you have a product name? Is it something that aligns with the organization? Whoop, double tap, triple tap. Do you have a landing page with all of the important information above the fold? The fold is before you even scroll on the website. And I'm going to show you the 2 examples of the Village and Rise so you can see what I'm talking about there. Does your copy call in the believers? We are so close to our own missions that sometimes we need somebody else to read it and then ask the question, read the copy. Can you answer? Can they answer? What does this mean? Like sometimes we are so jargon filled that's like, I actually don't know what that organization does. Like, what do they, and I have to like bounce around a bunch of different pages to figure it out. Is it easy and clear on how to give? This is a no-brainer with Givebutter. If you implement the elements, and I'll show you these examples, it is super, super easy to do. And then do you have a strategy on making that ask consistently the ask? Huge asterisk, consistently, all the time. I am a huge believer in recurring first, constantly asking for recurring. Why would you not want to? Because then you're in this continuous cycle of, again, having high donor churn rates with one time, on the fundraising wheel. If you have recurring, then you are just being able to nurture so much more and spend more time on that. And then providing constant joy and gratitude. So with that, you are officially joined invited to join the monthly giving mastermind. This is our mastermind. We're going to hop into some questions. I want to share with you our little mastermind that we're going to have September 5th and 6th. Givebutter, I am so excited to share, is a growth partner of the event. Floyd is going to be moderating one of the panels. It is 2 half days of nothing but talking about monthly giving. And we're doing some like panels and discussions, but we're also having like hot seat breakout rooms and one-on-one networking. It's going to be a blast. So if you are interested in joining, I just put the link into the chat, but it's monthlyGivingSummit.com. It's totally free. Would love to see you there September 5th and 6th, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then also there's a Slack community. So with masterminds, one thing that I wished when my mastermind ended was like, okay, now what? Now I'm by myself again. So I created this Sustainer Slack group, and it is a Slack channel specifically for you, nonprofits that have monthly giving programs. There are pre-launch organizations in there. There are organizations with thousands of people in there. And the goal is that this conversation like continues. It doesn't end with webinars. It doesn't end with summits. Like we get to the whole point about a mastermind is that peer-to-peer support. I'm hopping in there. Gloria from the Hope booth is in there. And so it's just a fun community, like no judgment, here to help. She was sharing videos from her launch. Like it's just a blast. So I shared the link for that, or you can use the QR code as well. And then with that, I would love to pause real quick before Q&A and briefly share with you these 2 website examples, because I don't know about you, but I am a visual learner. So I'm going to share Politicist first, just to show you these things in action. So this is their website, big audacious statement. Every voice matters. Join the village and help make sure every caregiver's voice is heard at the polls. Huge. I haven't scrolled, right? I know what it is. Then the subheadline, support our 2024, it's very relevant right now, childcare for voters program and provide childcare for parents and guardians this upcoming election. And then it has choose the amount. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to give and how to continue. If I scroll down the page, this is the example that I shared with you on the slide about calling the believers. There's also a video. There's another donate button. And what I love here is with the Givebutter buttons, you can change the language. So it's not just donate, right? But if you have a name, this says join the village. Scrolling down, it's a little bit of history. Continuing down, what does the program do? There's a social proof moment here with a quote. And then again, it takes a village, join us today, and another button to join the village. And this just opens a pop-up to be able to start the giving process. Now, this was obviously all branded and done with their brand colors and design. If I move this down to, hopefully this is changing for you, to mobile, you also see the big audacious statement, you see the header, and then you already see the ability to donate. If I go over to Clio, this is their example. So again, here, I have not scrolled. We see their big audacious statement. We see their subheader, will you rise to the occasion with a monthly gift? You can tell this is very differently branded, but it's clear, right? No donor confusion. Will you rise to the occasion with a monthly gift? Please note, this is a monthly recurring donation. I can continue my gift. Or for them, if I scroll down, we have a video, big like statement about fear or doubt that people might have. They're calling it out. It's a solvable crisis, right? And then they're explaining, we can solve this. We're ready to give it everything we've got. Again, intent button, rise with us. There can be a lot of doubt around this. We're optimistic about Florida's future. Again, explaining what they do in photos. Logos, you can see we have like kind of a template that we follow. Meet the next generation, trying to let all people, all diverse people be seen, all different ages. And then again, rise with us as the button. So 2 different examples. I am happy to share links to both of these in the chat so that you can check them out. Let me go ahead and put rise, and then let's go ahead and get questions rolling. I'm happy. I wanted to leave, we have some time, leave time for some Q&A.
First of all, can we just get into how amazing that was? Because look at all my notes. Like, look at, I'm taking notes back and forth because what? That was amazing. Can
Thanks,
y'all
Floyd.
just show Dana some love in the chat because I'm about to make an impact, okay? I want to rise above. I want to join the community. Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you,
I
thank
couldn't type
you,
fast
thank you.
enough. Jen, you're awesome.
That was so, so, so good. So let's get into some of these questions because there's a lot of them. All right, this one is from Alex Redmond because I really like that name. It's Alex with an I. Come on, somebody. This is a very specific one to their organization. So, children, food insecurity, pets, and human trafficking are top ranked for giving. Brain disease affecting the
Mm.
elderly is more of a challenging ask. We are a development communication team of 2. What suggestions do you have for us with creating a recurring ask?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I love this because, again, I think this goes right to step 3 of calling in your believers.
Mm.
All of us have such
Mhm.
an amazing, like, niche audience to focus in. And you would probably be surprised once you find your group of like how many they are and how like in they're going to be. And they're going to tell all of their friends and everybody who's dealing with something similar about it when they find you. So, what I would say is to I'm not sure if you can like share your website, but like be really clear about what it is that you do in your copy, who you're helping, like double tap in. I remember there was an organization one time that was specifically that on the headline said something about grandkids. So like when I went to the site, I was like, oh, they're not talking to me. They're talking to somebody who has grandkids.
Mm.
But they were definitely like dialing into exactly who they wanted based upon knowing who their donors are. So Alex, what I would say is look at who your existing donors are and how can you find them? Like, where are they? What messaging relates to them? And then work on finding partners, work on doing advertising, like some paid advertising if you can, once you've dialed in that message to lock in the communities that they're already in.
100%. And I would also add, who are your supporters who love you and ask them to bring more of them? Because here's the thing. I
Yes.
am friends with other like-minded individuals, right? If I love a cause and a mission, chances are I'm going to be able to find other people who love it too. I don't know if you guys follow me on LinkedIn, but there's an organization that I love called Bokamoso. They're in South Africa. It's very specific, right? It's like if you have been there or if you've been to one of their concerts, then you have a passion and an affinity to them. And I'm able to bring more people along, right? So people like you know people like you. Ask them. And I think that's also going to help with this next question from Jen, which says, we are a tiny grassroots, 100% volunteer NGO. How do we increase our reach? Our supporters are really terrific, but how do we reach new people? Thanks.
Podcasts, your partners, right? All the things, those are all free resources, speaking engagements, right? These are all free things where you can reach masses of people at scale with not a lot of time and effort. So how can your volunteers, how can you all be, ask your volunteers, like, I'm an expert in this, I'm an expert in this, I'm an expert in this. Great. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to go here, you're going to go here. Also, I love having a thought leadership LinkedIn strategy. Floyd knows all about this. I just talked to a nonprofit, and what I thought was so smart is they sat down with their team and they thought about individually what do they love to talk about and what are they good at? So somebody was focused on telling their personal story. Somebody else loves just talking about others and sharing others' experiences. Somebody else is a very like framework-minded person, step 1, step 2, step 3. So they came up with an approach that let everyone share like their unique gifts in different ways, but they're having a constant like momentum. And actually, what I'll tell you is the Hope Booth, how I became a recurring donor was I think Floyd, you might have posted something and then or mentioned them. I looked her up, Gloria, on LinkedIn, followed her. She has a consistent cadence of content. She had posted something. I went to the website. I was so moved. I gave.
Yep.
And then I reached out to her and I told her. But it was because she was top of mind for me. Like she kept, actually, you know what it was? It was International Women's Day. And I was looking for 2 organizations to support. And she just
And oh yes, and
happened.
I tagged them. Yes.
Yes, you tagged them. Then she posted something. It was like constantly coming up. So it's just having a drumbeat of consistency within your community or wherever you're trying to get traction.
And I have to say something, y'all. There is power in a personal brand, right? Like there is power. And I'm talking to you guys because so many of us in this community feel like we don't have a personal brand or no one wants to hear our story. I want you to throw that limiting belief in the trash, okay?
Right.
Because not in 2024. Not in
Yep.
2024, y'all. If you believe in something, there are going to be other people who want to believe in you. And the reason why we stop ourselves is not because we don't believe in our mission. It's because we don't necessarily believe in ourselves, or we don't want ourselves to be seen. But I ask you something: if you're not willing to be seen, don't focus on you. Focus on what you're trying to do, right? Because you standing up, you being seen, is going to help your mission. Is going to make even greater impact. Okay, so get out the
1000%.
way.
I would
Love
say if it's not you though, then there needs to be a key stakeholder person that does
Right.
have like a human personalized voice for your cause.
Love
Some
it.
champion that is out there talking about it.
Love it. If you send, this is from Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen Gregory. If you send a monthly e-newsletter to all donors, do you need to do something additional for monthly donors?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Like 1000% yes.
Yes, and.
So yes, and I would say to all donors, asterisk, not your monthly donors, right? It's to separate the two. Monthly donors get a separate email communication, or because oftentimes you're probably going to have an ask to become a monthly donor in your other newsletter, and you don't want those people who are already recurring supporters to get that message, and you want it to feel more personalized. That's a huge win. If you're just getting something like a little bit extra, that's huge. So yes, I would say 1000% yes.
And a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, child, it's only us volunteers. How am I going to spend something else brand new? Okay, then create a strategy just around your monthly giving donors, right? And that doesn't mean that all of your donors aren't important. That does not mean that, because with your donors, you have your regular events, you have your quarterly updates, you have what you do. But for your monthly giving donors, you're going beyond the transaction, and now you're going into transformation, right? Now you are building community. Imagine if you only talk to your kids one time, or you talk to your kids the same way you talk to the other cousin down the street. It's like the same thing, right? You are bringing them in. This is another deeper level of intimacy, and intimacy means into you I see. Okay.
And you know what? It doesn't have to be like this beautifully designed thing. Whatever your brand has, like I send pretty much text only emails. And a lot of times it's just be authentic and just like literally a simple thing of, hey, Floyd, I just want to let you know, as a member of the blank, we just had this incredible impact happen today. Hope you're having a great day. That's it. That's it. Depending upon the size of your organization, if you're looking something that's like the next step, or if you use SMS, something that I brought up to the Gary Sinise Foundation was, I was like, y'all, what if your monthly donors received a audio message from Gary? Now, if you guys don't know Gary, he was in, it's like the iconic movie, Forrest Gump. He was in Forrest Gump. Thank you. And thank you, Caroline. Lieutenant Dan. Yes. And so can you imagine, like, his supporters are super fans of him. If they got an audio message from him every single month, just saying, hey, this is the incredible work we did this past month. That's it. Done. And he records those on his phone with a voice memo.
I love it. Okay, let's try to get a couple more in. How often, freelancing with 2 organizations that are starting program/products for major donor giving and membership. This is from Vanessa Alvarado. So if you see Vanessa in the chat, y'all can probably get a couple hints from her. What is your advice/checklist to make sure that it is started correctly? I guess you're talking about the major donor giving and membership. I think we kind of covered that, but
yeah, I mean, I would say, and somebody asked for this before, I'm going to put back up the audit. Oops,
yes,
that's not the audit. This is
get your little screenshots now.
Yeah, so this is the audit, and I would say going through each step of this framework, like double check, why are you creating it, right? Like making the product. Is it easy to use? Are you calling in the believers? What's your ask strategy? And then what's your retention plan? Like those are the 5 tent poles.
Oh God, we have so many questions.
There's so many questions. I know. And what I would say is I know we're not going to get to all of them. I'm going to put it up again. If you message me on LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever your jam is, I will respond to your question. So if you're a LinkedIn person, I just put it there. If you're an Instagram, hold on, let me find my Instagram, DM me and we can chat, and I'll send you a voice memo back.
Come on now. Would you mind stop sharing your screen, Dana?
Yes.
Okay, y'all. Well, I want to share this with you guys before you go. Givebutter, because we love to give. Come on, somebody. We have
this is so cool.
monthly giving outreach templates. So take advantage of this. Get your little phone, scan these QR codes, and you're going to get this in the email that comes back to you. So monthly giving outreach templates. But y'all, can y'all show some love in the chat for Dana? We just want to say thank you so much. This was absolutely incredible. If y'all got something from this, because I know I did, I want to see hearts. I want to see some thank yous. I want to see some woohoos in there. But y'all, we want to see you thrive. We believe in the power of community, and that is why we are going all in on monthly giving. So make sure you check out those templates. And y'all, next month, we have one of my favorites again, Sabrina Walker-Hernandez, Making Money Moves.
She's awesome.
Motivating your board members to give. Y'all, thank you so much. If no one told you today, you know my saying, I love you and I am rooting for you. Now go out and change the world. Jungle Buddy, let's go.